like I said, everybody's been talking about this movie. I got to see it last night. It's a heavy hitter. Wow.
Yes,
Like,
thank
it's
you.
you come out of watching that movie like shaken. It's like wow.
Yeah,
So talk to me
it's
about being part of it.
funny. It's funny because that's exactly what I wanted to hear. It's very interesting, the filming process and the preparation process, and then finally showing it to the world. Last night we had our premiere, and my biggest curiosity is when the screen goes black at the end, what is the first thing that you feel as a viewer? So I'm curious to know what you felt.
Wow, I mean, for me, it's been a while since I saw a movie like that. You know, like David Ayer's amazing. You know, it has that end of watch feel, that training day feel, and I thought it was just so well done. You know, it's so visceral. But what was cool is I was watching also the movie with a lot of Latinos because we were at the drive-in screening last night.
I was there, yes, I was there.
And you could feel that, like, especially for Latinos, it's like finding like a quality action movie that's like about our world, you know. So there was a lot of pride there, but yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of pride, and I felt a lot of pride last night at the premiere. I felt it. It was really special for all of us. A big Latino crowd was there last night. I was so proud and inspired to see Latinos coming together to support a project like this. For me personally, it's not common to find a project at this level, this kind of quality of work with a director like David Ayer and an incredible cast that we have in this film. For me, it was really special, and I feel like the rest of the world also felt some of that as well. It was an honor to work on something like this.
Yeah, and talk to me about your character, because in the movie, everybody's like a badass or bad or both, right? And your character's obviously a bad, yes. But your character's also like the good girl trying to hold like a regular life together while her man is off doing crazy stuff.
Absolutely. I feel like everybody in this movie, the theme of this film is really the price of power, and the sacrifices that we make to have that power. So Alexis feels very powerful in her family and keeping that family. She's the matriarch. She's the mama bear. She wants to keep everything at home really perfect and just really pristine, and, her kids and her image in the public life. She's won the marriage lottery, like her sister says. They live the perfect Mexican-American life. And although Alexis is no stranger, as we saw, to what her husband has to sacrifice in order to get that power, she also sacrifices so much within herself to keep that lifestyle. And this is the first time in the film, over the course of 2 days in the Cuevas family's life, where you see those two completely different worlds of family life and his life in the streets as a tax collector. This is the first time that they come together and really just get in bed together, so to speak. And we see the effects, the complete disaster that happens afterwards. It's really crazy, really crazy. And my character, Alexis, is lovely. What I love about her is that I feel like she's the heart of the film. And even though she knows that she's married to this wild animal, she also, she also has her power and her control within her family and her household and within herself. And everybody in this movie struggles with some kind of power struggle between good and bad.
Well, no, yeah, everyone's struggling with the morality. So, I was talking about how, the Latino community is like, wow, really good film, about our world. But I took a white friend to go see it, and she has heard about this movie. And so, like, the thing about this flick is not just a film for us. It might be a film about the Chicano underworld community of LA, but like everybody is into it. And this is one of these movies that could really cross over and have people that are not Latino at all, maybe they live in the middle of the country, be like, oh, wow, I'm interested in this.
Absolutely. I thought that was really special when I first began to work on the film, and that was definitely our goal. So I'm so happy that you feel that as well. Like for David, it was like, yeah, absolutely. We want to tell Latino stories. As Latinos, we're constantly fighting for that representation on screen, and to have a movie like this in this capacity that's telling a story that everybody can relate to is such a major move for us. And it's so important for me, not only as an actress, but just as a Latina, just continuing to plant those seeds for the future, for more projects like this to come. That's our goal. That's my personal goal, at least.
Right now, one of the reasons a lot of people are talking about this film is the one non-Latino in the movie who I think is pretty cool. That I mean, like, you know, it's funny. A lot of Latinos like the fact that Shia LaBeouf is you know, making an effort to play a Chicano. What was he like, you know, in the movie, and like, how do you guys feel about his involvement?
100%. So what's funny is that, you know, there may be the misconception sometimes that Shia is playing a Latino. He's not. He's playing a white boy that grew up in the hood, very similar to how David grew up, right? David is white, but he grew up in South Central Los Angeles and is very familiar with the streets of LA. He brings that authenticity to every project that he does. And Shia, who also grew up in LA, he grew up in Echo Park. He completely immersed himself and respected Mexican culture as much as possible. I saw him firsthand just like walk around every single day for weeks at a time with a notepad, just absorbing his surroundings and paying respect to all of the very authentic Latino actors that we have on this film, and learning as much as possible. I loved that he didn't want to put on this character. He had this pressure to just be as authentic as possible. And watching him in this movie, especially last night, it was like, you did it. You did it. He's incredible, and I'm not surprised at all that this is another role that he completely mastered. Yeah,
it's hard to take your eyes off him. Someone else that stood out, honestly, in this movie is Bobby Soto. Like he really nailed it, you know, and he, you know, it's. Those kind of characters are my favorite. The ones where you're like, okay, I want to cheer for this guy, but then he's doing this bad stuff, but like I'm with him, but like, you know, the struggle. It's like a Tony Soprano character where you want to support them, but you're also like struggling with the fact that they're, you know, a bad guy too. They're a good guy and a bad guy.
Absolutely. I think, you know, because we had to work so much on like the marriage and the love dynamic, and in my heart, even 2 years later after we finished this film, Alexis loves David. Cinthya loves Bobby. We had to work so much on that relationship that never once while I was filming did I ever look at Bobby's character, David, as a bad person. Right. Ever. It was like he was the good one. He could do no harm in my eyes. He had to do what he had to do, but he was a saint, right? So I love that you also see that as well, because, yeah, it's this dichotomy, this completely different world that he navigates seamlessly through, but you still love him throughout. You root for the bad guy, and that's really fun, not only to play but to watch on screen. You kind of want to root for the bad guy, even though deep down inside you know you shouldn't.
Well, yeah, it's the mark of like these kind of genres. When they're done right, you know, you're conflicted about the character when it's done right.
You know what? Yeah, watching it, absolutely, I agree 100%. But you know what? Actually, I root for Creeper.
Me too.
I feel like there's a vulnerability about Creeper that you understand. You may not know so much about him, but from what you see in the course of these 2 days, you understand him, and how, as actors, it's so important for us to realize the perspective of how these real characters see the world. And you understand that Creeper sees the world in a certain way, and he's just living in his truth. And you almost gotta respect him for it. So I have a little soft spot for Creeper, I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Even though Alexis hates him, Cinthya really likes Creeper.
Awesome. All right, last thing I want to ask, going back to the Alexis character, is I would love to see like a sequel or a spin-off where we're focusing on what she has. I mean, we saw a little bit of that in the movie, but I would love to follow her more, like when the, you know, the David character or Bobby's character is out doing crazy stuff, like how she has to hold down the family in the fort and keep her family safe, and trying to shield them away from what's really going on behind the scenes. I want to see like a sequel with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so many. Even while just preparing the character, obviously, when I'm working on a character, I will find everything that is similar about me. But where the real fun comes in is when I explore how the character is different from myself. Right? That's where I find the nuances. That's where I like really sink my teeth into, and I'm able to explore people that are different from me. And I struggled with Alexis staying, right? Staying behind. I don't want to spill too much for anybody who's going to watch, but you know, why she makes certain decisions in her life, why, you know, she doesn't run a certain way and does something else instead that causes the final moments in the film, right? I can't spill too much, but I questioned a lot of her choices sometimes, and I respected it because at the end of the day, Alexis is ride or die for her husband. Right. Me as like a mama bear spirit and lion, I'm like, my kids. And although she loves her kids, she loves her husband.
Are you a Leo?
I'm not. My best friend, it was her birthday yesterday. She's actually a Leo. I'm actually a Capricorn.
Oh, Capricorn women.
Similar.
Okay, very because you said like lion. I'm like, oh, maybe she's a Leo because we're in Leo season.
Yeah, no, like my spirit animal is definitely like more like a lioness, I would say. Very intense and fierce and protective and stuff. But no, Capricorn, very similar. What sign are you?
I'm an Aries. So
nice.
I'm always going forward.
Cool.
We're the best.
Aries are cool. They're they're ethereal.
Fact. Cinthya, you were awesome. The movie's amazing. I can't wait to see once it gets out and the public's reaction to it. And remember, you always have a loving, supporting friends at Ali TV.
Thank you. I really love you guys. I love what you guys are doing, and just thank you for supporting our film. Thank you for going to the screening last night. I hope you had an incredible time.
I did.
And yeah, guys, check out the film. It comes out August 7th on video on demand. And yeah, hope you love it as much as we do.
Take it easy, Cinthya. Have a good one.
Thanks.